Welcome to Free Fall RC Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Free Fall RC Podcast. I'm Steve, and here with me is Kevin.
Hey guys.
We got Andy.
Hey, now.
And Ian.
Hey, what's up, guys?
All right, this is episode 312. You don't have to help, but it helps. All right, let's catch up with everyone's week first. Who would like to go?
Me.
Yes, do it, Kevin.
I have to go. Well, it's either me or Ian because Ian missed last week too.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
So it's going to be me. I have done nothing in 2 weeks. Last weekend was pretty crappy in Florida, and this weekend was also pretty crappy, but for a different reason. During the 2 weeks, well, let's go back to last weekend. 2 weeks ago, we get done recording Tuesday night. I've been hacking a lot and didn't think it was COVID because it was just like a real tight, dry cough without a fever, without anything else. So I'm thinking, all right, no big deal. I'll just ignore it like you should. And went on to proceed to do my normal stuff, which was, jog Thursday morning. And then I get up Saturday and I'm like, well, I really can't breathe that well. But if I try to breathe like I'm running, I can breathe fine. So, of course, I'm freaking Superman, and I got to go out jogging Saturday morning and do my workout. And I came back, dude, and it was like I had a pocket full of kryptonite, man. I was out cold for like 3 hours. So I was wiped out Saturday, right? So I'm moping around like Sunday, not really feeling better, not sleeping too good because I'm coughing a lot in the middle of the night. I'm coughing a lot when I lay down and stuff. So I finally, I go to work on Monday, and I knew something was seriously wrong when I went to get up to leave work, and I just was like wiped out, like completely wiped. Like I could barely get up to leave work. I was like, all right, I gotta go to the doctor. Like this is not funny anymore. So, like I said, still didn't think it was COVID because I didn't have a fever. It was just a cough, but it was a nagging cough. So that's why I made myself an appointment for Tuesday, and I went on Tuesday in the afternoon. And I go to the doctor, and she's like, I can't find anything wrong with you except, maybe you have allergies. And I'm like, I did have allergies once before up in Jersey, and it was pretty bad. And I'm like, yeah, that could be a possibility. And she's like, right now the trees are blooming down here like crazy. And I was like, well, that's the kind of allergies I had in Jersey was, oak trees. So I go back home, and I'm having dinner. My phone's upstairs. I come back upstairs, and the doctor tried to call me like 5 times. And I call her back, and she's like, we looked at your x-rays, and we need you to come back for more medication. We found pneumonia in your left lung. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm. That's not good.
Yeah, so I go back to doctor, get the medication, start on that. And it was just like, realistically, it was like 3 days of sleeping. That's why I missed the show last week. And just sleeping all day, sleeping all night. It was just weird, man. And there was a couple of times where I woke up and I'm like, I'm breathing like it's not like I'm gasping for air, but like I could feel it. Like I'm trying to push this air in and out and stuff. And I'm like, man, God bless anybody that has like asthma or anything like that. It has to, like, I don't know how you deal with that, almost. Man. Yeah. Screw COVID. Pneumonia's got, COVID's got nothing on pneumonia. Like, pneumonia sucked. That was really bad. Like, and they were surprised that I kind of went back to work Monday, or went back to work last Friday, and I was back to work, this week. But I haven't been coughing that bad, and sleeping's been a lot better, thank God. And I knew, you know that. Like, I used to have a policy, like self-proclaimed little policy when I worked outside a lot, and when I did a lot of physical activity at work, and like the lumberyard when I was a kid. Like, if I wouldn't call in sick unless I couldn't stand up. Like, if I was at work and I was like having trouble, like, then I was like, all right, it's time to go see a doctor. It's probably not the best policy.
Yeah, I don't think that's a very good policy, actually.
Yeah,
but
that was like,
when you're getting older.
I mean, I guess you did grow up in like the 60s, so it's probably a different time back then.
The 60s?
Damn.
How old do you think I am, man?
I don't know. You look about 80.
Yeah, I feel about 80 now. Thank you.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
1860s?
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I missed last week. Sorry, everybody. I'm sure you heard, my wonderful boss call in and say how I was faking it for 25 or only 25%.
Yeah, he was
You know,
giving you a
blah,
hard
blah,
time.
blah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got another guy at work who's had COVID like 5 times since I've been there and has been out a lot. And every time he comes back, he talks about, he stands in front of us all with his arms on his fists on his hips like he's Superman, and he's like, I guess my family just has better genes than everybody else because we didn't have any problems. We got through it all. So today Shaw was doing that at the office, kind of saying, well, because I'm in better health than everybody. I guess it's just the genes, and I kind of like said very loudly so the other guy could hear it. I was like, yeah, and you and him have probably been out the same amount of hours over the last 6 months. You guys with the freaking genes, you guys should go bowling. Yeah. But I'm glad to be, dude. I'm glad to be better. Like, I wasn't really scared, but when you can't breathe, that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's
it does.
that's
No
scary.
fun.
No, that definitely wasn't fun. And like, it gets to a point where you're so run down because you're not sleep. I wasn't sleeping at all.
Mhm.
I went like a week probably without really getting any kind of like sleep. I can remember telling my daughter, "Hey, I just actually had a dream." I can I haven't had a dream in like a week and a half because I wasn't really sleeping that well. When you get in that good sleep when you can actually
Mm-hmm.
get dreaming. So, yeah, that's been my 2 weeks.
Well, I'm glad
Nothing.
you're feeling better. Glad you're
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad I'm feeling better too, and hopefully I'll get some flying in this weekend coming up. But that's another story. So who's next?
Nice. How about you, Ian?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go next. I did do some flying during the couple weeks. The Saturday after my last record, went flying at a local field. It was pretty chilly. Google said it was like supposed to be like 10-mile-an-hour winds, and like that particular field, since it's kind of at the top of a hill, it's a bit more than 10 miles an hour, and it was just. I did a couple flights, and I just felt it was like too miserable to even fly. It's like, and I think I ended up going home by like noon, 1 o'clock, because I had to work an evening shift that day, and then of course I was on Discord. I think I was late for that one too. Then yeah, I just worked all the way through Tuesday, and of course, we ended up delaying the show, so it's like I had already accepted a evening shift on Wednesday, so that's why I couldn't make the show, because there was a snowstorm coming in, which I thought that was it just seems like anymore, like when I watch the weather over here, it just seems like they, as soon as they get like an inkling of snow on the forecast, they over exaggerate it, because they were talking like 6 to 12 inches, and then it went up to 6 to 14 inches in areas, and then what we really got, like 4 or 5 inches at best. So
Well,
it was just
of course, dude. They work off of ratings.
right. And yeah, I signed up for a double because I figured, hey, the facility could use my help. I like working there, so it's like,
Sure.
why the hell not? So I packed the dog along. The kids stayed over at my mom's for a couple of days, and yeah, I just been working like crazy. I was on Discord this past week. I don't think I was up too late. Just it's always great to BS with the guys on Friday. And then I worked all weekend. So I mean, really, the only couple flights I did, that was probably the most exciting bit that I got done in a couple weeks. Oh, and I got my Jeep back finally. I got it back just before the snowstorm. It's looking good. They repaired the, from the rear end impact. They had to replace the rear suspension cradle, and of course the one that they could find that would actually fit my particular model has a tow package on it, so it's an upgrade. So I got it back. It's driving great. I did take advantage of the rental car though. That was it was great to save on a little bit of gas, but still, it's still too small for my taste. That thing was tiny.
Did you beat the balls off it?
Shit. Every vehicle that I've had, it's always been loud to some degree. That car was quiet, and it's like a lot of times, I can tell how fast I'm going just by how loud my vehicle is. And there was quite a few times I was looking down and I'm doing like 85 on the interstate. It's like shit. Thank God Highway Patrol wasn't watching me.
Wow, dude. I guess beat the balls off it is different terminology now with you millennials.
Oh no. I'd rather have a stick shift. Yeah, this millennial can drive a stick shift.
Yeah.
So
I remember the last rental car. Well, the last rental car I messed with. It was snowing, and I had some fun with this little Hyundai Accent drifting around parking lots.
Nice.
To the point where I think the suspension shifted a little, but it kind of drove funny after that. But, yeah, whatever.
to
Well,
take it back up there and you're like, oh, there's something wrong with it.
Ian, you said something about having an upgrade. I just wanted to add, though, dude, usually the tow package includes that plus, I think, a transmission upgrade. So, I don't know. I'd be still be careful with, towing and stuff. You could probably handle it, but just be aware that I'm pretty sure that tow packages include that,
Yeah, like a transmission cooler or something, right?
Yeah.
It does have a transmission cooler, I believe.
Okay.
There is a small radiator unit that's like right in front of the radiator, so I think that might be the tranny cooler right there. But it's still an older Jeep, and yeah, I'm not pulling any type of campers or anything like that.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
You're not pulling a lot
U-Haul.
of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yep. So that's my exciting 2 weeks. Who's next?
You want to go or shall I?
I can go real quick, then you can finish this up.
Okay.
I flew a little bit, not as much as I have been. I think maybe flew twice, maybe 4 times. Honestly, I can't remember. But I did start building the Exopower Specter V2.
All right.
I haven't gotten very far on
Wow.
it, but I did start.
Nice.
Yeah. You want to know
Awesome,
when
dude.
it'll be ready?
Soon, very soon.
2020.
That helicopter will be done when it's done.
It'll be done when it's done.
All right.
No, it'll be done before chill out, because that's the reason I decided to go ahead and build it. Chill out's just around the corner. I was like, I should probably build this thing so I have something extra to fly.
Nice.
So we had a couple listeners ask to do like a comparison. So I think I'll do maybe, I don't know if it'll be a full episode, but I'll talk about everything that I can tell. It's kind of a comparison to the V1. But the biggest thing I noticed first off is the manual. The manual is probably 207 times better than the previous one. They have really, really improved the manual on these things.
207 times.
Yeah, 207% better.
Nice.
Or 107%. I don't know. It's considerably better.
Okay.
Which they had updated the V1 manual a couple times and improved it since I had built mine. But the first one I built, oh gosh, I don't even know when that was. 2018, 19, somewhere around in there. It was okay, but the way they did the graphics and stuff made it very difficult to see like where the screws go through the frame and stuff. It wasn't very good detail.
I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, it was like an old Align or Gowie. It actually probably wasn't that good. But they've improved it, and this latest version that I was looking at yesterday when I started is much, much better. It actually reminds me of the MSH Protos manuals from back in the day. All the parts are a different color, and it's very clear and easy to tell what goes where.
I wonder if they pulled that from like, when
probably
MSH, right? Like they saw their manuals.
Probably because the manual looks very, very similar.
Cool.
So it's much, much better. And I mean, that's kind of all I have to report on it so far, but I'll try to kind of notice differences as I go. Yeah,
Cool.
other than that, that's kind of all I've done. I did no simming this week and very little flying, but I did start building, so
Nice.
step in the right direction, I suppose. Still playing PlayStation 5. So
Nice.
that's
Awesome. I saw
eating
that
up a lot of
post.
my time.
Yeah.
So, all right, Steve. Looks like you've been busy this week. What you been up to?
It just looks like it because I just write it all out so I can just read it off the list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to think. No, but I did sim. I did sim again in Discord. I think this is 2 weeks in a row. Is it, Ian?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God.
Nice.
That hasn't
Damn,
happened in
dude.
a minute.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna get punched in a minute.
Through the
But-
internet.
You know,
Through the
but yeah, I simmed. You know, I don't know. It's not much to say about that. It's
How long
just
were you in there?
like banging.
Were you in there for like an hour or two, or?
I simmed the whole time I was on Discord, probably for I don't know, maybe an hour. I don't know.
Nice.
Didn't
That's
feel too.
plenty.
Yeah, it didn't feel too long, but didn't feel like it was too short either. You know,
Yeah.
like, it felt like it was a decent amount of time. So I would think it was about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, or something. I don't know. We're talking Monty and what other folks there? I don't remember. Remember who was there?
Monty, Mike DiPaolo. I don't think Shaggy was there. It's kind of a blur. My
Yeah.
whole 2 weeks is a blur, pretty much.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, so I did do some of that. Let's see, what else did I do? I flew. This past Saturday, I drove down to RCHO and I met up with a couple of folks there. I've been planning a kind of like meet up with Jimmy and Lincoln for a while. I've been trying to get something sorted. So, you know, this weekend I think I called this weekend out like a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, all right, let's do this. And the weather was shit. It wasn't great. It was like 40 degrees and you know, it was pretty breezy at times.
Oh wow.
But it was fun though. So yeah, so Jimmy was there, Lincoln showed up, Jay, Treadway of course, Rodney, and Jimmy also brought Austin. And I think I met him before. I don't remember. I guess I had to have met him, or I met him on Facebook because I was friends with him. So, anyways, yeah, it was a lot of flying. I flew the shit out of Nitro. Gosh, I'm really digging that helicopter, man. Can't say it enough. I did a flight on the 580, did the 8S setup, but I didn't really feel like charging. When I have a perfectly good Nitro standing there, you know, just fuel and go, I didn't feel like charging. So, but I did help Jimmy with a couple things on his helicopter. He has a YGE, and well, he has a Spectre with a YGE. I think it's an Eagle Drift or no, X Nova motor, but he needed help with the YG and Neo setup, so I was kind of helping with that, and we can talk about it, I guess, in the main topic here.
Nice.
But beyond that, let's see, did I buy anything? No, but I was really close to pulling the trigger on the stupid flying camera. I'm still looking.
Why are
at
you
it
getting a
like
flying camera?
I don't know.
Ugh.
I just want to get one. I don't know.
It's like a regular camera, but it flies.
Yeah, I just want to play with something in the air. I don't know. That flies and has a camera on it. So I might get this. I'm still just looking at it in the cart, and you know. But let's see. I did
Every
this
time
wrenching.
Every time you look at that, say, I'll do it tomorrow. And then in like a week, you'll lose interest and you won't have wasted
That's what
your
I'm
money.
trying to do. And what I'm actually trying to do is I'm trying to find one on like Facebook Marketplace local that can like buy some like Mavic 2 for like $300. And
Yeah.
that'll get my like, you know,
Scratch
this,
the
like
itch.
crave out. Right. Yeah. To scratch the itch. And then I'll be like, oh, this is stupid. I don't want it. Because right now, if I don't, I'm going to spend $1,900. So like,
Right.
I
and
really
then you're
want
going to sell it for $500.
Yeah. Or
like
let it sit there
6
like my
months.
my
Yeah.
DJI Spark, which is sitting, you know, dead batteries back there. And the batteries are so damn expensive. I don't want to buy it.
Mhm.
So I'd rather just buy a new one. Anyways, I did do some wrenching. And basically been working on the raw. Mark Fedorov posted he like redid his raw and he had an orange setup, and I was like, he did the orange setup with like a carbon boom and everything, and I was like, oh, that looks good, man. And I am getting a little tired of the red. Especially more recently, the skies have been like, the weather has been great, so the
Yeah,
sky's been very
Red's
gray.
the worst.
And red just like bleeds into the sky, and I just can't see it.
It's terrible.
Just like a
It's the
silhouette,
worst color for flying.
So I'm gonna go back to my orange. I do have an orange canopy, right? So like I had an orange canopy before. I'll probably just put the same one on. I do have a new one. This one's a little bit faded, but I don't care. I'll put it on there. I'm gonna put some new orange stickers on the side, and I'm gonna do something different with the boom. And I was kind of working on it a little bit before the show started, but I'm going with a white boom with orange letters on it.
Oh, that'll be good. That'll be
That's
nice.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put the orange tail fin on right now. It still has the red on there, but yeah. So it'll be like orange front with the white boom and the orange letters. I think it'll kind of
Yeah, that'll look good.
it'll look good and it won't look like all orange, right, or all one
Mhm.
color. So
No, I
kinda
think
give it some
that'll be
contrast.
really good.
That's how that that purple one had the white boom on it.
Mhm.
We saw
Yep.
at Queen City.
Yeah.
That really stood out.
The
the
Louis
white
Yeah.
Vuitton one, yeah.
I've never flown anything with a white boom, but I imagine it's fantastic because it's like white skids. You wouldn't think it makes much difference, but if you fly black skids and then put white skids on,
Yeah.
it's like, it makes a big
mean,
difference.
And then think about
Mhm.
seeing this like stick to your
Mhm.
wedding, right? So like I
Yeah.
think that might help. So we'll see how it looks in the air.
I think it'll be cool.
But I'll have that ready this weekend for sure. Yes, I can't wait for this weekend. But let's get to the main topic here. Helping people, right? You don't
Mhm.
have to help, but it
But it
helps.
helps.
Mhm.
Okay. So what are we talking about?
Helping people.
Helping
Yes.
people in the hobby with their whatever setups, builds,
Setup.
flying tips,
Mhm.
maneuver, like helping someone figure out a maneuver.
Yeah.
Just helping people
Yeah.
in the hobby.
So
How do you do that?
yeah, it looks like we broke it down a couple of talking points here. So like, how do you offer help, huh? How do you guys offer help?
I normally just find somebody doing something wrong and be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, dummy, you're doing that completely wrong. And that usually, is well received. And then they punch me in the face. And then I go like, well, fuck you. Do it wrong then.
Yeah.
That's my method. I mean, maybe you guys have a different method.
Well, I wanted to say something about being able to help or have the confidence enough to help people. Because I know Steve dives right in and helps a lot of people. I've been around it, tons of people I've seen Steve help, where I don't know if I have enough, knowledge behind me to help out with some stuff. So I don't like jump right in. But
Steve doesn't let that stop him. He'll help people
Yeah.
whether he knows what he's doing or not.
But I have found that, and the best way for me to help is to basically learn a lot of stuff through experience. And if you teach people, you actually learn through teaching. And so lately, I'd say within the last year, I've definitely had enough knowledge behind me that I think I can actually help somebody, whether it's planes or helicopters. I've had quite a few questions since going to this new club now, just basically on helicopters alone. Like, how do they work? What's this for? How does that work?
Mhm.
Is this tough to set up, or how basically? So basically, you're describing how things work, and when stuff fails, like why did that happen, and with my one epic like landing that I had, why was that so epic? Because
Mhm.
I really didn't have a tail rotor,
Did
but that
you
kind
tell
of
him?
stuff,
Yeah. You just said, because I'm that damn good.
No, it goes 400 feet. Goes 100 miles an hour. But no, like that was always the thing for me. Like when I started out, like I didn't want to give the wrong advice, and I figured giving the wrong advice is worse than
Yeah, it
like
is.
not helping at all.
It's way worse, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yes. And that's something you need to know is like when like your advice can be good or bad, right? So you have to be careful when to kind
Right.
of give it, right? So,
Yeah, very careful. And
Right.
I-
And Steve's from the troubleshooting, the one-on-one troubleshooting background. He's had a lot more experience in that than I have. You know, like I've had basically just I'm trying to figure out why this doesn't work on my own, and then explain. You know, I'm not trying to actually help somebody. Like I know Steve's history with his employment has been a lot of that
yeah, a
one-on-one.
lot of frontline support. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got that down. You know, as far as that goes, and that all comes into play.
Yeah. As far as offering help, in my opinion, you kind of need to be careful with that because some people aren't necessarily looking for help.
Mhm.
So I approach it as just ignore everything I just said. That was a joke. Actually, I approach it as like, hey, I'm familiar with that. If you have any questions, I'll be over here or whatever. Not like, hey, you should do this or you should do that. Just if you need help, I'm available. If you got questions, and just kind of leave it at that. It's sort of the way I think is a good way to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should be like, even if it's a really stupid thing that they did, like don't be condescending in any way. And like, I mean, I went out to Gina's a couple weeks ago and flew with her, and and Jeff and a couple other guys, and a couple of the other guys were good helicopter pilots, and the one guy set up the other guy's helicopter, and they both walked out to go flying with it. And when they spooled it up, it was like a link was completely missing. It hadn't
Yeah.
made that horrific sound. Well, he had one of the blades on upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Ooh.
like, they started laughing, and then one guy was yelling at the other guy, "Well, you put it on, dummy!" Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, dude, we've all done that. Like
I've done that when I
I
first
did that
started.
on a
I
3-bit
flew
bladed
around with it.
helicopter.
It's like it doesn't sound
Flew
right.
I
around.
There's something
remember
wrong
that,
with this.
Kevin.
Yeah, remember
I
that,
remember you
Steve?
put it on the KC 570.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, how'd you put one backwards? Can't
Two
you see? Like
two of them are on right. Yeah, one was on the wrong
and like the
way.
design's different. So I'm like, you don't notice the
Yeah.
It's like it's really pitchy.
You just get going, and you just start talking, and you bolt
Yeah.
it down. You don't even think about it.
yeah.
But in that respect, like they'll be like, "Hey, stupid, you put the blade
Right.
on backwards." Just be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we've all done that." Like, don't make
Yeah.
a guy
Or if
feel
if you
worse than he already is.
if you see someone doing something like that, you can be like, "Ooh, I had a problem with this or that. You might want to check this or that." You kind of put it back on yourself as, "Ooh, I screwed this up." You might want to look at
Oh,
that
man, you guys
so
like
you
beat
don't
around
make
the
the
bush a
same
lot too
mistake I
much.
do.
I usually I don't know. I'm always offering to help, right? I'm always open for people to ask me to help. But and I make note of that. Like, I don't know. I think that's part of the reason why I like to be sponsored because I want people to know that they can come in and ask for help. But I'm kind of a dick when it comes to this, I guess. As
Yes,
far
you
as
are.
like pointing out the offering to help.
I thought you were done talking.
Oh no, yeah. Well, there's a little bit more, but yes, that part, yeah. Is that like I'll offer help when I see something wrong with someone's helicopter. Like I'll walk and I'll check out some stuff and just hang out and whatever. And if I see something wrong, I'll be like, yo, dude, you should check this out. And like point it out to them so like they don't make a mistake and kind of learn from it. But they don't have to ask for it. It's just kind of me like pointing it out and like, hey, you need a little bit of help here because that's not right. Or if a ball link is like falling off or something, like, dude, you gotta put some Loctite back on that thing. So I just point it out. I don't know. It's probably, like I said, I'm kind of a dick when it comes to that, but I'd rather just like show them and like, just talk to them and it's like, hey, that's something you should look at, than ignore it.
I don't know,
I don't
Steve.
know.
I've been around you when you've been in that mode, and I wouldn't call you a dick for. And I've never seen you be a dick to anybody.
No, I mean, I don't know. Some people might think of it like that, especially if you're pointing something out, like that might be wrong. I've had that experience where, trying to help someone out. This is early in the days, Kevin, and our listeners will know because we spoke about this on the show before.
Yeah.
But, it's like try to help someone and then they kind of like get this attitude when like they didn't like take your advice, I guess, or your assistance. And then the helicopter basically just pulls up and eats itself, and it's like, well, I was trying to help you with that.
Right. And
You
that
know,
falls under how to receive help.
Yeah. So, but yeah, why don't we talk about that? How to receive help, huh? Because I've been there. I've gotten help. Sure.
Yeah. I've gotten
Yeah,
help
it's
many times.
going back to what you were saying, Steve, about that particular guy. I know you're talking about.
Mhm.
You gotta. It's a little tough because you spend all this time, you think you got everything right, and then somebody walks up and says something about you got to really. It's a little difficult, maybe for others more difficult, than some to just take a back step and look at it and say, yeah, this guy's right. Yeah, this guy just saved me. Whether it be the prop on backwards or a blade on backwards or compensating in the wrong direction, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt to double check anyway. If somebody
Yeah.
sees something, because a fresh
Right.
pair of eyes might see something that you overlooked.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And I mean, like, different people. There's different folks in the hobby, right? Like, there's let's say like there's eccentric folks in the hobby, and I'm probably one of them in certain ways, right? And I like when I look at a helicopter, I can spot things, right? I don't know, my eye just gets drawn to certain different things on the helicopter, and I can spot things. And if I see something wrong, I don't know. I want to help them, like I don't know. I just want to make sure that like that shit don't blow up in front of me or in front of them and hurt someone, or just cost a lot of money to fix. That shit sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
I think receiving is it's a lot easier as long as you're open to it, right? Like,
Right. Exactly.
I don't know, Kevin, you and I have been in this, and Andy, us three both kind of started around relatively the same time. So we haven't been in this like as long as other folks have been in it, but we've put our time in, I guess, right? We're not like folks that just kind of came in and dropped out of the hobby, so they're not
Mhm.
like very experienced, but we haven't been in it for like 30 years or 20, 30 years like other folks have been. But I think, we do have a decent baseline of like knowledge that we can help people, and people can, obviously, still get help, not just from us, but we can still get help from other people, right? That are definitely,
Mhm.
more knowledgeable. I
Yeah, and
think,
I was going
go
to
ahead.
add, dude, that certain regions of the country, help might come a little different. Like if you're from up north and you come down to a southern fun fly or a west coast fun fly,
Mhm.
the way that person approaches you might not seem like he's helping at first.
You could get
know?
punched in the face. Just
Mhm.
saying.
Yeah, like somebody might say, "Hey, boy, better check that," blah blah blah, or whatever, and you're from up north, and you're like, "What do you mean, hey, boy?"
I don't
That
think I've
kind of thing.
ever had anyone talk to me like that.
Hey, boy.
That's just in Kevin's head. Nobody
Yeah.
talks like
But
that.
that's an extreme. But yeah, I mean,
yeah. I know.
but you know what I mean. Like you would come down to a southern fun fly, and you might mistake his initial contact with you as being a dick, but he's not. Just because you're out of the area, I'm saying it's a little tough to receive the help because you got it all set up, you're real proud of it, and then somebody finds something wrong with it, and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
what we need to understand is like receiving help is like we don't all know everything. I know I don't know everything,
Right.
So there's always gonna be something that I don't look at or think about that someone might. And that's the thing, right? It's that other perspective, that other set of eyes on your model or whatever, or your settings,
Yeah. Don't
that can help you.
don't be too proud to double check your stuff if you need
Yeah.
to.
And for the most part, I don't think it's an issue in the hobby. I mean, I think a lot of people
Even if
want to talk about it, and they, well,
Mhm.
they kind of respect you if you would pointed out something or brought something up,
Yep. Cool. Ian, you said you've received a lot of help, right?
Yeah. As far as like when it comes to like fly bar lists and stuff, I mean, come on, I'm not very tech savvy, but part of the reason why I moved to the V control, it's just everything's just a little bit more simple. Like when it came to, being on Spectrum and using like a Spartan receipt, the fly barless. Dealing with my first fly barless of that caliber, I needed a lot of help. So it's like here and there, I'll get some help on different things regarding like the fly barless. I don't know everything on it. My mentality, I've just always set it and forget it kind of thing. So here and there, I might need a little bit of help. I know I reached out to a couple friends when it came to setting up like the Scorpion ESC, which I figured out what I did wrong, what was going on. So that's like just being able to do it and experience it and figure out the problem yourself, I think is like the best solution on as far as just memorizing what you did. And it pays to have friends that do know.
Right.
Yeah. Bounce different stuff off like that, often if you ever, find yourself where you don't know what to do as far as technical help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Helping those folks, helping those that won't help themselves.
Yeah. You guys ever run into that?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's happened to me multiple times. Somebody asks for help, and you can tell they've put absolutely zero effort into figuring out anything on their own. They're just like, here it is. Tell me how to work it. Don't look at the manual. Don't look online. Don't do anything. I find that, I don't know, very irksome. It's like, at least put a little bit of effort in. All of us will help you, but we can't do it all for you. You got to at least put some effort into it. Maybe that's just me, but I've run into this more than once.
No,
For
I've
me,
actually,
you're not gonna.
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, you're not gonna learn if you don't try. When it comes to a lot of that stuff.
That's true.
Well, yeah.
And you won't learn if you don't take the advice and actually think about what you're doing either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say that I've actually lost a friend over this type of setup. Well, it had nothing to do with the hobby, but it was basically like, I'd show up to help him out with something, and he'd always tell me, "Hey, when you start doing this, let me know. Let me know. I'll come over and help you out to pay you back." And that's when the excuses would come. Like it was when I was working on my house. I had a neighbor that always kind of helped him out, and he always told me, "Hey, when you start working on your house," and he was a carpenter, "let me know. I'll come down. Hey, man, I'm working on my house. Hey, man, I'm working on my. Hey, see this load of lumber? I'm working on my house." Never came down, to help me at all. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm done with this guy, man."
Right. Yeah, that's kind of similar, I guess. But it just gets tedious answering the same question from someone over and over if they won't read the instructions, read the manual, go online, read something, put some effort into it.
Yeah.
Yep. At the very least, if it's something like, maybe more, not complex, but like, say you're not computer savvy at all, right? Maybe a little bit of an older generation, let's say, and even with V control, it still can be, maybe a daunting task. So they would ask someone to help them, but write shit down then, old school with pen and paper,
right,
write it down, the steps that you need to do, so that way next time you need to set up a model, like, oh, I'll just refer to my notes. Yeah, these are the steps we took. Let's do it again, and then then that way at least you can do it on your own,
or do it with someone and do it yourself with someone guiding you.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of brings us to the next topic. I don't know exactly how to put this, but I've had people like ask for help. Like, can you help me get this model in the air?
Mhm.
And they bring it, and it's like half put together. The
Yeah.
servos are just bolted up. There's no wiring run anywhere, and they just
Ugh.
expect you to just do it for them. It's like, no, dude, you gotta, do the stuff, whether it's programming or whatever. You can't just sit and do everything for somebody because they don't learn anything, and then the next time it's like, oh,
Yeah.
will you set this up for me? Look, I could, but why don't you learn to do it yourself?
Right.
That's the old teach a man to fish saying,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I don't know. Maybe I'm just the asshole in this situation.
Well, you are the professional.
A professional asshole? Yeah, sounds right.
No, but you have a point, Andy. I mean, as much as I don't mind saying, hey, you got to press this button or you got to do this, or you got to make sure this is hooked up, it gets to a point when you're like, dude, you got to learn this on your own. And that's when you
Yeah.
really kind of have to turn into somebody that's a little bit
Yeah.
less kind and more on the asshole side and be like, hey, joke around with them. I'd be like, dude, are you ever going to learn this on your own?
Yeah, tough
Right.
love.
Right.
Yeah.
Sink or swim.
Yeah. That just goes back to put in some effort. I mean,
Right.
There's plenty of people in the hobby that'll help you with anything you need, but don't be an abuser of that same thing.
It's funny because there are people that do see it, like they'll go to an event and they'll ask someone for help and they'll just hand them a transmitter, like
Yeah,
sorry,
just
that-
hand them everything, and then sometimes they'll even walk away.
Ugh.
It's like what the hell?
Yeah.
Have you seen that happen? That's
No, I
happened.
haven't, because I would just, if I was that person, I would just walk away. Like, wait,
Yeah, I just set it
away?
down and walk away the other way.
put it
'cause
down and
what
walk
the
away
hell?
myself. Yeah, I guess he's done. I'm done. What the hell? Oh,
Yeah,
what the heck, man?
but I have seen that happen.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, that takes balls to do that, though. That's pretty ballsy.
Yeah.
And I guess there's maybe a difference when getting help, whether if you don't know someone and you're asking a team pilot or a pro pilot or something for help, or if you're just with one of your buddies that you or hang out with all the time and you're helping one another.
Right.
That's a different dynamic as well.
Yeah. And I've had that. I've had, obviously, like, I've helped Kevin and you guys, and and you guys all helped me as well. And but I've been at an event, like I've rebuilt this guy's helicopter at an event, his whole damn freaking Kraken 700,
Mm-hmm.
and it is what it is. Like, he was very appreciative, and it wasn't a big deal. Like, for me, like, it was really badly built, and I felt that it was like, it's an endangerment to let this helicopter go without putting Loctite on every single damn bolt on that helicopter, because they had none on every single damn bolt. I'm talking about spindle bolts were just spinning loose by hand. So how scary is that there's a helicopter out there that someone might fly like that? So I almost took it as like a personal responsibility of safety patrol, okay, let's build this helicopter from ground up and make sure it's done right, so it doesn't, potentially hurt someone. So yeah.
You didn't just take his spindle bolts and put them in your pocket and say, now when you fix this right, you can have these back.
No, is that a tactic that works?
That'd work. It's like, this is unsafe. Once it's safe, you can have your bolts back.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna
Just
confiscate
take
your
the
blades
grip
right
sweets
now.
and put them in your pocket. So you can't hurt anybody without grips.
Right.
Oh, man.
It's funny. But all right. So if you're looking for help, where do you start looking for help? Because I think that's one of the things, especially when you're starting out, or maybe you're like, still new, but you're starting to familiarize with like the different, venues of data streams, I guess you can call them.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, first off, if you're super lucky, you might be in a club or join a club that has help local, like helpful help.
Yes.
Sometimes people help and it's not helpful, but helpful help if you're lucky. But for the rest of us that aren't lucky, we have to look online, I feel.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have a good point about helpful help. And if you're on the receiving end of the help, and I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to say it like, and you don't think it's good help, I guess, or you know,
I mean, how do you know though? That's the thing. It's
Right.
hard to tell if you're depending on what stage of you are in the hobby.
you can take everything that person's saying, and then kind of then go maybe to the forums and
Yeah.
double
Right.
check stuff too.
My big thing is research. Like
Yeah.
read, go to the forums, go to Google, Facebook, all the things,
Yep.
and read and try to do as much research as you can on the topic. And that way, if somebody's helping you and they're going in a direction that's completely opposite everything you've researched, then
Right.
maybe you want to get a second opinion.
Right.
And I know
Maybe-
the manuals of the helicopters are very good on setup and help.
True. If it's some sort of a build type question problem, the manuals are pretty good nowadays. And any kind of question you have with that would be very easily answered by most people that's already built that model. Setup stuff can be quite a bit more complicated. Obviously, if it's a Goblin, you've got a Neo on it, and you're using V control, that's very simple. Anyone can help you. But if you're getting into a different type of model with a different flybarless and a different radio, then there's a lot of variables there that can get very, very complicated.
Right.
And can get harder to find help if you run into a problem.
Yeah.
But
So-
forums, is there any forums left? Heli
I don't know.
Freaks
Heli
still
Freaks, I think,
around,
is
sort
the
of.
only one. Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the Facebook groups, which I think are good for socializing, or asking a question and getting a quick answer. But there's not a really good archive of information. So
No. Yeah, it's good for like a real time kind of like I'm gonna ask a couple
troubleshooting,
questions
like,
and
hey,
yeah.
this is happening. Any ideas?
Right.
It's good for stuff like that.
Right. Has anyone else experienced this type of deal?
Mm-hmm.
But historically, like it's hard to pull up anything that like,
Mm-hmm.
to see if anyone else has been having the same issue, right? So that's kind of where the forums would be a little bit better.
Where Heli Freaks better. Like if, for instance, you're, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example that's a little more off the beaten path. So you're using an ESC that doesn't talk natively to your flybarless controller, and you need to go through a JLog or something like that, like how to hook the wiring up. That'll be on Heli Freak. It might be hard to get an answer on Facebook. But you might have to dig. You might have to put some effort into it.
There's always good old Google, right? You can just Google it. Google your
Mhm.
question right in that bar and see what happens.
Yeah.
Um,
Google definitely can help you out. Probably.
some
8, 9
things
times
yes,
out of
something
10.
not. It's hit or miss for me for sure.
Yeah.
Another thing when it's pertaining to a certain component, you can also look up. There's possibly a video on YouTube about it. Whether it's setting up or maybe there's like some type of issue with it. Being paired with another component. So that's something that you can also use YouTube for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Oh, hell
somebody
yeah.
has like a DIY fix for whatever issue you're having or whatever it is. Yeah.
Shit, I still go back to Chris Roberts' YouTubes on Neo setup and stuff because I don't get a Neo like once a week or anything like that. It's probably once a year, and I'm like, all right, now what do I got to do? V-stabby, blah blah blah. And I pull up Chris Roberts' old video, man, and it still helps me out.
Yeah, it's not as big of a problem with the hobby because I don't think a lot of people are doing YouTube videos on stuff they don't know that much about in the hobby. But my big disclaimer with YouTube is I've seen a lot of videos of people showing you how to do something and they absolutely don't know what the hell they're doing. I've never done this job and I can tell that they're doing it wrong type situation. So be aware that not everyone on YouTube is an expert.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So you've been warned.
So email
I-
Andy with those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At andy@freefallrc.com.
Mm-hmm.
That show. Sorry, Steve. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say like I don't recall seeing ever like bad advice on YouTube. But then like I don't know, like the stuff I look up on YouTube, I don't think you can give bad advice for. I don't know. But yeah.
I've seen tons of bad advice. People's like, I'm doing this and I'm building, I'm framing this, whatever, just doing shit. And you can tell
But I'm
they've
talking about-
never
oh,
done it before. They don't know what the
right.
hell they're doing.
about an
People are
RC
watching
stuff.
that
Yeah.
and going to follow them. And so
Yeah.
it's a blind leading the blind a lot of times.
Yeah, in that case, I think I would check out how many videos they have. Maybe watch a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just that kind of thing. Because you're right, Andy. Like, especially when I was, people sometimes get, it happens to everybody. You get really into this project, and yeah, I'm gonna do like 13-part series on how to put this together, and you get to video 2, and then the guy like scrapped everything. And I
Yeah.
completely lost interest in it.
You get to video 3 and you realize everything you did in video 1 was wrong. So,
Well, this is not tremendously hobby related, but one of the things that I saw when I initially started with the R2D2 project was guys were using ABS, like the guy and they use ABS a lot in England. And I think it's due to maybe they don't care that their attic is about to explode, or it's really hot and they have a hot room over there. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's a bet it's easier to print ABS in England. I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with the power. But I noticed a lot of guys in the United Kingdom print with ABS, and I watched a couple of guys early on when I was doing the R2D2 that were trying to replicate that and failing miserably. And one guy got to a point where he did the dome, put it together. It came out like shit, obviously, because it's just ABS is a beast to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And
Warps so much.
and then just completely lost interest and said he was going to start over and never did any more videos. Did like 6 videos on it.
Yeah,
So
that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so
You
I mean
see
that
in
guy.
the hobby though? I don't see that often in the hobby.
No,
like,
I
stuff that I look
prefaced
at.
what I said is it's not as big of a problem in the hobby, just YouTube in general.
Yeah, definitely say YouTube in general.
In general, I mean, there's a lot of stupid fake YouTube channels on there.
But you got guys like that have been in the hobby for 100 years, like Chris Rybert, and some of his stuff might be dated now as far as going back to looking at the early setup. But like I said, I still go back to that. And yeah, you can definitely check out different videos on builds that people have done.
Yep. Use your head, common sense. If something seems like that is not right, then find another source just to double check. Maybe it is right and you just don't know, but double check.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to double check.
No, absolutely. Doesn't hurt. All right.
What about the online help? When you ask a question, you get 20 answers, and
how do you know which
most of them are different? How do you determine what's the correct way to go?
You determine that they're all wrong. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say because you don't know if people are like just saying something to troll and like it's total bullshit, especially if you're new and you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know situations.
And it's really difficult nowadays. Like there's definitely the help online and YouTube videos is a double-edged sword where you get you'll get the basic help and then you'll get the people that have completely overthink or overthink the whole project, or you know what I mean? Like they're bringing up stuff like you need to use marine plywood for that because blah blah blah, and it's like, no, you don't, dude. You could get away with going to Home Depot. You know what I mean? Like there are people and you got to watch that. Like like Adam Savage is a perfect example. I love the guy. I love watching his YouTube videos, but he has every freaking machinist, whatever
Every tool.
wacky little tool, known to man. But yet when he's building something simple, he makes simple mistakes. And a prime example is one I watched while I was sick, of him building something to keep bins of something. He was making like a thing out of wood. Well, he made 2 mistakes on that were like how could you possibly make those mistakes? Because you're not thinking, you're rushing. I don't know whether it's because the cameras are on.
He goes too fast. He has explained his problem with stuff. He goes way too fast. Yeah, like that. He just makes simple mistakes from not thinking things through enough.
Like doesn't measure correctly, like the old, measure twice, cut once type thing. Yeah. So I mean, you got to watch that on YouTube, and any advice you get as well.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need.
I think so first you got to figure out who's a reputable. Like if you're talking about on Facebook or HeliFreak's really hard because you don't know who's who. Right. With Facebook, for example, you ask a question, if you can do enough research to figure out who is reputable. I can't say that word.
Yeah.
Who has a good reputation and knows what they're talking about. Maybe they're a team for that particular company or something like that, or they have a history of helpful type post or something that you can remember. Then they'll more than likely steer you in the right direction. I think that'd be a good way to kind of narrow it down.
Yeah, and in respect to what I was saying, earlier, just like I get some stuff, and I like the 3D printers or a new helicopter or something like that, and everybody might say, "Oh, you need to do this upgrade. You need to do this upgrade." I'm the kind of person that I just want to fly at stock, so I know what I have a baseline on,
Mm-hmm.
or I want to run the printer stock just to see what the baseline is on, and I'll upgrade, later.
Yeah, it's actually terrible advice to upgrade or change anything before you've used it in its stock configuration. I know a lot of people do that, but you shouldn't do that. You should use it completely stock first, because a problem some people have and they're upgrading, you may not even have. They work fine. Your application.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that also. Just run it stock first.
Yeah. Talking about 3D printers, I ran into that with my 3D printer. There's a million things that people do to these things. Mine's just completely stock and it works just fine. Doesn't give me any trouble. So, and I want to reiterate again, don't be an abuser of the help. People are helping you. Try to learn what they're helping you with, and then you can help someone else and pay it forward. Don't just be the guy that is always asking for help with the same thing and then never taking others' advice and screwing it all up and being a dick. Don't be that guy.
Be gracious.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else? Shall we move it on then to...
We can move it on.
Ian's Tech Tip.
Don't have one, unfortunately. Tune in next week.
Man.
What the hell, man?
What the hell, man?
What the hell, man?
I've just been stupid busy at work. I haven't had time to think about it. Sorry, guys. It'll be next week.
You could just stop. I've been stupid. Stupid busy. Kind of like that song that Dick People Love. When that song used to come on the radio, it would go, might as well face it, you're a dick. And I would shut the volume down. You're a dick. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to news and announcements.
Wait a minute. Instead of Ian's Tech Tip, I have Kevin's watch list.
Oh, yeah? Let's hear it.
Since I was laid up in bed in and out of consciousness, I got a chance to watch a few things.
What did you watch?
I may or may not have hooked up my Raspberry Pi with my sort of illegal. If I can stream it, I don't think it's illegal, but maybe it is. I don't know.
It's probably illegal if you have to ask that question.
Yeah, it's probably illegal.
Right.
But I watched the entire first season of Reacher, which I did not know that it came out like 3 days on Amazon, 3 days like after or before I watched it. Like I'd watched it on the 5th or something. I think it came out on the 3rd or 6th and the 3rd or something like that. Basically Jack Reacher series on Amazon that was pretty damn awesome. Eight episodes. I was not a huge fan of the books at all. I didn't read any of the books. I really liked the first Tom Cruise movie, but people that were really into that series by the author were kind of bummed that short little Tom Cruise was playing like the 6'5" guy that was in the book. You know, so this guy that's in the series literally could be like the Incredible Hulk. He's huge. He's a huge guy. And when I first saw him, I was like, okay, these big guys usually can't act, but he was a pretty good actor too. So it was a good show.
Nice.
And the other thing I watched was Ghostbusters, new Ghostbusters movie.
Nice. I got to see
pretty
that.
damn good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I didn't watch that.
It was a lot
So
of fun.
2 things is on your list?
2 things, yep, on my list. Oh, and I
That's
started watching Picard.
Barely a list.
Oh, that was a good one.
I was asleep for like 3 days, dude. I started watching Picard. I thought that was pretty good.
Nice.
Is it on your watch list or not?
It's on my watch list, yeah.
Picard. Let's write it down.
Yeah. And I think that was it.
Season 2 comes out in March, I believe.
I think that was it. Yeah. That was it.
Okay.
Just real quick.
Okay.
I want to
Cool.
throw it out there.
All right. Go watch it. Jack Reacher, Ghostbusters, Picard. All right. Let's move to news and announcements.
All right, let's do some news.
And
Announcement.
Okay. What do we have?
I don't have a whole lot of news, but I want to remind people of some fun flies. Obviously, the Chill Out 2022 is coming up in a couple weeks. That's February 25th through the 27th. 604 Three Sisters Road, Knightdale, North Carolina, at the world famous RCHO flying field. Try to get there. It's probably going to be sunny and beautiful all week. That's what Eric Shue said.
In the 30s?
It's going to be 67 and sunny, which is just about perfect weather.
That is about perfect.
that's better than last year.
It could, well, it's Raleigh, so it could be anywhere between 75 and 25.
Oh, God.
I almost guarantee it'll fall somewhere in that range.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Between 25 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit with winds between 0 and 20 miles an hour. So we could luck up and it's 70 with 0 wind, or it could be 25 with 20 mile an hour wind. We'll just have to see.
And Eric Shue could be from stone cold sober to stone cold on the deck.
No.
No.
He will not be stone cold sober ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
just saying it could
doesn't
fall
start there.
between.
He'll be sober on the drive over there, and then he'll probably be drunk most of the weekend.
Okay. I'm giving him he's a good dude. I'm giving him
And
a
even
little
when he's
space.
sober, he seems drunk, so it's kind of a win-win either way.
That's true.
Fun Flight Eric comes out.
He's the best.
Yeah. Him, Jay Treadway, great guys.
The other fun fly I'll mention real quick is our buddy Frank with the Miami Amp Smack Fest 4.0 2022. Seems a little redundant, but it's March 18th through the 20th. And that is actually in sunny South Florida.
Yeah.
Not
Not too many people say they come up for that
Miami.
event.
No, very few. When is the date for that? March 18th through the 20th.
Right.
The Amps Field of Miami. You can find both info for both of these on Facebook. or just ask a friend.
Okay.
Somebody wrote, "Where are the drones?"
Yeah, that was me.
Oh,
And that was because while I was watching stuff, I also watched a YouTube video of a guy who brought up a, kind of a simple question. Hey, where are all the delivery drones that we were sort of promised? And, us being in the hobby, we're kind of, Steve and I definitely, started the podcast, and then second episode was FAA regulations.
Yep.
So we've kind of been following this all along. And his video touched on a few things and brought up a few questions.
You gotta link the video, man.
Yeah, I'll have to find the video and I'll link it. But one of the questions was, how realistic is drone delivery? And he brought up Phoenix, Arizona as like this would be like the perfect like test bed for drone delivery because it's flat, the weather's usually pretty good.
right.
But when he checked out the map of Phoenix, because of all the airports and Air Force bases, there's only a certain amount of space that you could operate a drone unmanned, according to the FAA. There was a certain amount of like people in that area that had. He brought up stats of people that had a yard that you could actually land in.
Yeah.
And then there
right.
was the other stat he had was people that would actually pay for that like 30-minute delivery, versus.
Mhm.
So unless they made it absolutely like the same amount as your 2-day, or whatever, really isn't feasible. He touched on Amazon shit canned a whole bunch of people because they were basically doing nothing for like a year and there's no research being done because there was no headway they could make on drone delivery.
Yeah.
And it's kind of on a downward slide. DHL put everything on the back burner as far as their like drone winged and fixed
Mhm.
rotor type thing that they had going on. He did bring up some good points though in areas where the terrain is really bad, like in Africa, they can deliver medicine really quick, and that's been operating for a long time, and that's like a catapult launch assisted like
Right.
fixed wing like plane delivery drone system.
Yeah,
So,
I think we did a story about a company trying to get set up to like drop medication and stuff to some of these remote places.
Yeah, which that's been taken off and that's been doing really good. But just just the locations in the United States alone where you could actually deliver stuff. It's real. New York's too densely populated. Boston weather sucks.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is densely
I
populated.
thought everybody in the hobby just laughed at this anyway because we're like, this
Right.
is never going to happen. If it is, it'll be 15, 20 years down the road.
Well, yeah, and I've been keeping an ear to every little tidbit that I can, kind of pick up on as far as this information. I did speak to a UPS guy years ago at a party I was at, and he said, yeah, we watched a video about how the truck's going to park and they're going to launch from the truck. I actually did see part of that on this guy's
Right.
video, which made me think of that guy, but that was years ago, and it's been like since 2016 they really haven't done anything.
There's a very small Goldilocks zone where this would even work. It's like you say, the city, it's too dense. Nobody has a yard. We're out in the rural parts of America, like where I am, you wouldn't have enough. There's not enough density. So
Right.
a drone couldn't fly 40,
3
50 miles
yeah.
To deliver something. So you're really regulated to like that suburban setting where there's enough population, but everyone has a yard or a place or even apartment building has an area big enough to accept a package. So it seems like it's wishful thinking and would be very hard to implement. But we'll see.
Yeah, and Amazon was pretty pissed at the basically I think it was the hype and then the fact that nobody was doing anything. They like just closed the whole division down for for a while now, I guess. But yeah, like you said, the logistics is something.
Mm-hmm. That's better for us, though. I mean, less drones
I'm not saying
flying around
that
in the
FAA will be off our back.
Yeah, they'll never back off, but at least maybe they won't keep pushing forward as hard.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Probably not. Who knows?
I just wanted to bring that up because I know we've touched on that subject quite a few times.
Yeah, sure.
It was something that caught my eye.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. So let's move it on then. You don't have anything else? Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I don't have anything.
What's next for In the Hobby?
What's next for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to sim Friday night, and I want to fly Saturday and or Sunday. And I want to see Steve Shaw's promised 2 more helicopters and a ground vehicle, and he's going to bring cake and a clown and balloons to the flying field. I hope we get to see it all. It's supposed to be great.
Nice.
I'm getting to the point now where he comes into my office and he goes, "What? I got a couple of these things." I go, "Hold on a sec." "Yep. Yes, Judge." And I pick up the phone. "Yeah. Okay. Yeah." And I just like pretend I'm on the phone. So he walks out.
You're like pretending, and the phone's like dee 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 dee
Yeah.
dee dee when you had it off the ringer too long.
Sorry, I got to take this call. Tomorrow, when he hears this, he's going to be like, "Tesha, you're such a dick."
You got to set up a
Yeah,
speed
man.
dial on your cell phone where you can just hit a button and it dials your
Dials
office
my-
phone. It's like,
my
oh, I'm
office.
getting a call. Sorry.
Yep. When I see him walk in.
Makes me think of Christmas Vacation. Picks up the phone. He's like, "Yeah, get me somebody. Get me anybody."
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
cool.
it for me. Hopefully I can get some flying in. Feeling better. So it's good.
Maybe some
Nice.
simming?
Maybe some simming. Yeah. Definitely want to try and get some simming.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Who's
Who
next?
else?
Me, I'm going to build this heli, hopefully. Maybe, I probably won't maiden it by next show, but I might. We'll see. I think I have everything to finish it, so it shouldn't be too hard. It looks like it's going to go together pretty quick. I don't foresee any problems. Knock on wood, as soon as I say that, I'll have a part that's screwed
Right.
up and I can't get it, and it'll be backordered for 3 years, and I'll have to give up, but we'll see. You can't take anything for granted right now with the way
Yeah.
everything is.
Wait, yep.
That's it. Maybe I'll sim on Friday, possibly. I doubt it.
Cool.
Let's be honest.
Mhm.
Oh, I got to get ready. I got to do a couple things to the camper for the chill out. Get that ready. So I got plenty to do.
Cool.
What about you, Ian? You gonna do anything this week?
Other than Discord, all I've pretty much got planned right now is just work. Just working like crazy. Not this weekend, but the next weekend. I have that off. I'm taking that off. I'll be off for like 3 days so I can just decompress from all the hours I've been putting in at work. So
And get some flying in?
absolutely.
If you say you're gonna wrench on anything, I'm gonna punch you through the internet.
No wrenching.
Okay, good.
I need to do some
Thank
flying.
goodness.
I need to get my fucking ass outside.
Get your ass outside.
Mm-hmm. Can't really think of anything right offhand that I need to do as of just yet. I'm just trying to get past this week, try to get it over with.
Yeah. That's good though. We gotta fund the hobby somehow.
Exactly. And
Those hours
it's like,
in.
yeah, because I've still got stuff to, get paid, pay ahead. And then I've still got a few things I need to do to the Jeep, and then just really just saving up for spring fling. And it's like, that's going to happen regardless. I mean, it's like, I'm kind of tossing the idea, maybe I should go ahead and rent a vehicle. I don't know. We'll see.
I was just gonna say work extra hard now while the weather's bad, and then maybe you can go to an
Yeah.
extra fun fly this summer.
Yes, and then on top of that, have like more days off during the summer. To
Yeah, that's what I
just
mean.
Fly.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I live
You
5
go to
minutes from
Urcha.
Yep, that is another idea. I think I might be able to pull it off this year. Let's see. I've been trying to go since like 2017. So
Yeah.
You're gonna go in a year that no one else. Well, we're not gonna go. At least I'm not going.
The The very
What the hell?
first time you emailed us, like 3 or 4 years ago, you were almost had your you were working on your shuttle to take it to Urcha, and then what happened?
Yeah.
He's still working on
Uh,
a shuttle to take it to Urchin.
Still working on the shuttle. No, it's just nothing ever lined up. It's like anytime I get like just an inkling, just to I don't know, like I have everything ready to go, a fucking wrench gets like thrown right through it. So it's like, ugh, it's been like that every year since like 2017.
Yeah, I hear you,
All right, so who else is going?
Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to go flying. I want to go flying this week. Weather's supposed to be pretty nice, progressively getting nicer each day this week until Saturday, where we're gonna hit a high of I think like 65 or almost 70 degrees.
Nice.
So I want to go flying Saturday, but my wife's gonna be like, "You gotta always pick the best day to go flying, don't you? You always gotta pick the best day.
Well, yeah.
The weather, Like, well, yeah, I'm gonna be standing outside all day. Yes,
I like how you looked around before you said that.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, is she behind me?
Make sure. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make it off Saturday for a little bit. But I'm also thinking about maybe taking a half day either Thursday or Friday to kind of just enjoy this nice weather, kind of get out, and just do some more flying, man. I'm just really been digging flying and just kind of getting out there and flopping the helicopter around. So
Cool.
that's the plan. Maybe I'll show up this Friday as well for the Discord sim night. We'll see. 3 weeks
Nice.
in a row might break me though,
It might break the internet.
Yeah. So. All right. Who's next?
I think
That's
that's
it.
it.
That's it? Oh yeah, that is. I'm the last one again. Listener pipeline then.
We have no voicemails.
What the hell, man?
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What the hell?
Damn.
Oh, man.
No, let me refresh it just in case somebody called in the last hour. Nope, no voicemails.
All right.
All right. All right. I guess let's wrap it up.
All right.
Yep.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
You know what we have for Facebook.
Did you ask me what we have for Facebook?
Yeah. What do we have for Facebook?
Oh.
I don't think we have any new likes. I'm gonna check real quick, but I don't remember seeing any new likes. So
Well, on Facebook, I see Ian posted that he heard stickers add skill. So let's see where you put your stickers. And Rowdy Namiria
Mhm.
has the greatest sticker on the back of his vehicle. He's got the inverted heli chasing Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes.
Right.
And Calvin's running like I used to run with my radio in the air. Kind of reminds me of myself, the way I used to fly.
Nice.
And Greg Ringle said, did a video on this topic. This is a heavily guarded secret. The tie between mad 3D skills and stickers. Be careful once you have mastered stickering. Well, you know. And then he posted his video.
Okay.
And Ian posted a meme about Jordan the Flash McFarlane coming to a fun fly near you in a trench coat.
Yeah.
And yeah. And we got two comments. Jamie Baker said that's hilarious. And Vincent Offenbeck, the guy behind Ego Drift Motors, or one of the guys, said one episode behind. I'm still on account of I'm one episode behind, still on account of getting all holiday orders right into preparation today, but I am very much looking forward to this one. Awesome. Thanks,
Nice.
Vincent.
Yeah. All right. I got a chance to look at the Facebook likes. And
Okay.
we actually do have 2 new likes this week. So we're at 1,397. And the 2 new likes are Greg Fitz and Richard Van Aken. Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, let's move it along. Do we have listener posts?
I don't know, do we?
Oh, let's check. So for listener posts, do we have anything? And yeah, so we got Jordan who said big thanks to the guys at Free Fall for having me on, and he shared our post for that. Look
Nice.
forward to meeting up with you guys in the future. Yeah. And let's see, there are a couple comments for that. Angela Amasari is like, indecent exposure, huh? Gotta get a listen. Jamie Baker's like, Jordan McFarland, maybe you should take a trip to the East Coast this summer. Jordan said, I really need to, bro. And then Jamie's like, our fun flight is in June. Be cool to see you there. Yeah. And then Daryl said, I just finished. Good job, dude. So cool. And then Steve posted something. Steve Shaw.
Right.
Yeah. And he said, went to Florida E-Jets event in Mulberry, Florida this past weekend. Of course, I had to buy a few raffle tickets and saw some very nice EDF jets, which you Free Fall RC boys could be here, could be there. Yeah. And just some pictures of some EDFs and some stuff. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and he actually won a prize while he was out there.
Oh, yeah? What did he win?
He won a 12th scale RC crawler. RC Jeep.
So
Like
at,
Nice.
at an RC Jet event, they raffled an RC crawler.
Yeah, I think he had his choice and he picked the crawler.
All right.
I think that's how it went.
Strange, but okay.
Well, he needs one because everybody at the field now has one.
No, not that. It's strange that they
Yeah, the
raffled a
jet
crawler at a jet event.
Well, I think there were some jets, but this is one of the other prizes.
Cool. I'm glad he got something that was ready to run.
Exactly, ready to run. He can use it. Right. Doesn't have to put anything together.
Yeah, you can start playing with it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Charge and
He
go.
just needs to add batteries to the
Yeah.
controller.
That'll take 3 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's move it on then. Website comments.
Let's see. We had a few website comments. Can't remember where we left off. Some talk. Okay, here we had an email from a guy asking for some help. This kind of ties into this episode. And I emailed him back to see if I could help him, and then I never did hear anything. So I'm not sure if he solved his problem or what's up with that. Huh? Rick? Jetty Radio and Spirit GTR.
Oh, right up your alley.
Well, not really, because I haven't used Spirit in, years, and I never used one on a gasser. He's looking to set up a Spirit on a gasser. But I would bend over backwards to try to find somebody that was familiar with that if I knew what his specific issue was.
Right.
So maybe he'll
And that's something I could try
reach
to do.
out.
I forgot to mention that. I ordered that GTR.
Nice.
And I sold the RS.
Nice. Good. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Our buddy Stephen Hoover has sent me some information about a possible lead on some bump tags.
Yes.
So I've been talking back and forth with him a little. I've got to do something about that. Try to order some. I think there's a guy overseas that possibly has some. And then we got an email from Dwayne. Show suggestion. Do a show about traveling with helis, plane and care traveling. Also love the show. Thanks. That's actually a pretty good idea, Dwayne. We could do one about traveling. I don't know if we've done that. About what kind of case to get and stuff.
Oof.
We haven't, but
You're kind of into that right now, aren't you, Steve? Like
yeah.
looking at cases and stuff. So that might be a good option.
So I know the case I'm gonna get, but I don't know how it actually is to experience it though. Like, you know, we can talk about it. I can buy a case and I can take apart helis and put them in there. But until November when I go to Southwest Rodeo, I'm not gonna really have experience.
Maybe we'll get somebody on that's traveled a lot.
Let's get Nick Maxwell.
Yeah.
He's traveled with big helis
all over the world.
Yeah.
Global 3D and all that stuff. I'm sure he has some stories with that.
Yep.
I know Bobby Watts. He gave me and Keith a rundown on his golf case that he carries his helis in, and he does it exactly to the T the way he, shows on Smack Talk. So it's like, he's been doing the same way for like several years.
Yeah.
All right, we got an email from William Grant. He says, "Hey Andy, when you're done feeding America, build your dang Spectre V2 and make contrasting points about it in regards to your Raw and V1." I think I'm going to do that, and I did start building it, finally. And then he writes, "Hey Kevin, hold my beer and let me ask this question for you. Andy, how does the Spectre V2 compare to a 380 like the Oxy 4 Max?"
Or smaller.
He says, "Thank you for the time, and Kevin, give me back my freaking beer." And of course, it's empty now. Love the show, guys. It's almost better than Heliheads.
Oh,
Almost.
How dare you?
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Mm.
William.
Yeah. I was enjoying your email up to that
Yeah.
last part.
Yeah.
Wait, what's his name again?
William Grant.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me write it down on my list.
Okay. You made Steve's list. Good job.
You forgot to put the lipstick on while you did that.
That comes after.
Go. And that's it. Some more correspondence from Steven back and forth about these bump tags. I'm going to try to get a hold of like a couple hundred if I can. We'll see.
Cool.
Yep.
So what's next?
Podbean. People of Podbean. I've got, while you look them up, Kevin, I've got some insight into some Podbean people.
Oh, yeah?
So, Tom Shin liked episode 0, The Birth. Tom Shin liked episode 1, Getting to Know Us. Tom Shin liked episode 2, FAA Regulations. Seriously? Tom Shin liked episode 3, New Year's Resolutions. Let's fly. Tom Shin liked episode 4, Cold Weather Flying. Tom Shin liked episode 5, Flight
We're
Test.
going to do this to 300 and what are we? 312 now? 311?
Tom Shin liked episode 6, Designer Series. Kevin
and he's
Metzik.
broken.
Tom Shin liked episode 7, Winter Building and Simming.
All right, let me know what you guys have done. I'm going to take a little break. Yeah.
Tom Shin he made another account and liked every freaking episode all the way from 0 to 310.
Wow.
So thanks, Tom.
Thank you,
Oh
Tom.
my God.
Tom Shin, you are better than Heliheads.
Oh,
There you go.
wow. Yeah. He's the man.
Thanks, Tom. Oh, and on Podbean, while you were going through that, I looked up what was going on, and the RC Element liked episode 308, Sean Hall.
Nice.
And that's it.
All
In
right.
the last
and
week.
We're going to go back 2 weeks because we didn't do this last week. So 11 days ago. Oh, no, is it 14 days ago? No, we did this one. Dash Echo the Dolphin Gray Flipper. Yeah. Oh, well, then 14 days ago, he said, Lassie saved my heli. I don't know if I mentioned that one, but that was Grey Eagle Jr. 14 days ago. 11 days ago, someone named Boogie
Boogie.
down Bronx, Boogie, FYI, Amazon and certain sellers of their packs will warranty the packs for 6 months. I had 6S packs that failed after 3 flights. I contacted the seller about them, and they sent me new packs.
Wow.
At the time, I had the packs for about 3 months unused, waiting on a break in the weather. The seller I purchased was from HRB Power. Interesting. It's interesting, but not surprising, I should say.
Yeah.
Being that you're on like an online marketplace like Amazon, like it's better to take a loss than to take a bad rating. So same with eBay folks. Sometimes you'll see like they'll bend over backwards before you give them a bad rating if you have any problems, because they'd rather refund you than get a bad rating. So
Yeah. Yeah, and if it's sold and fulfilled by Amazon, I mean, they're going to take it back, whatever.
exactly.
It's a month or something. That's why I was saying, if you get them new and you test them, if they're bad, just send them right back. Where it gets a little iffy is if you fly one for 2 or 3 months and then it starts going bad or something. You could still send it back, but you're not going to get the same customer support you would from Maniacs or Pulse or some of these other brands that have more what am I looking for? Have people in North America like to help you that you can call and talk to.
More direct representation in the hobby.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which there is a HRB USA that sells the graphene packs, and so maybe you want to go with those.
Mm-hmm.
My purpose with testing those Amazon ones was test a very inexpensive battery, which I was surprised that they actually ended up being pretty good.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. We have Grey Eagle Jr. I hate when people use like numbers as words.
You don't like leet
letters.
speak? Aren't you a computer nerd?
Yeah, but I don't know what this is. So liver on fifth wall who banged. I don't know.
It's a Levy liver.
Levy liver
I
on
don't
what?
know.
On the what's the 5 apostrophe
On
THE?
5.
Is that like
I don't know.
fifth
Just
wall,
read it.
floor wall? I don't know. All
Who
right, so
knows?
Livy Liver on fifth wall, who Ben Bigley's the TikToks of them all? Question mark. Round arrow, or round arrow. No, round around, and round she flows. Flows, goes, oh knows. No rescues of set, throttle of hose. That was response to episode 310.
Oh, damn.
And then Grey Eagle 10 days ago, responding to episode 310 again, says, also Funky Joe means good, great. Also bye, Harvey FaceTime. 8 days ago, Tom Shin. That was a lot of clicking.
Yeah.
Like.
He wore a blister on his finger.
Yeah, seriously, probably wore out his mouse clicker. Yeah, that new mouse is in the mail. Okay. Grey Eagle Jr. 4 days ago says photosynthetics of camera slap stop that contraption. Wrangler Rodeo that Radio Bronco only bulky heli will dance that chicken barbecue Outback sauce winglet for aileron.
Yeah.
And that's for episode 311 and Decent Exposure with Jordan McFarland.
And if any of our listeners are confused, just know that we are as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
As well. Okay. All right. iTunes reviews.
I am sad to report there is nothing new on iTunes.
What the hell, man?
Exactly. What the hell, man?
What the hell, man? I love Grey Eagle. I want to say that. He makes my day.
Does make something. I don't know what that is, but he makes something. All right. So I guess, drop us an iTunes review. Email us, Facebook, websites. Check out, the Flight Test forums. Fellow podcasters, yeah, check those guys out. You know them. Helly Heads, Fellow Rotor, Skids Up, Inverted, bunch of other folks that I think are still doing podcasting. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Bill Ann. Yeah.
Then
Bill's
there's
the man.
Bill.
So, yep. Thanks to all listeners. Free our skies. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, boy. That cough is still there, huh?